Making moves beyond loss. I'm Cortne Lee Smith.
I'm Fulton Smith.
Making sure you don't get stuck in complicated grief.
Today's moving day.
Every Wednesday morning, 5:30 a.m. here on Praise Charlotte.
Today is moving day.
Hey, we all are here about praise and making moves beyond loss. Yes, moving day. What are we doing today on moving day? Oh, that's right. We need to learn how to pack light.
Pack light.
Yes.
You know how to pack light?
I don't know. I pack for both of us, but sometimes we do a little overpacking.
Don't say we.
Don't say we. Oh yeah, no, it's the stuff that you pack that's outside of the bag that you say, oh baby, did you remember these? Did you remember that? You know, it's all the little things that add a little extra weight. So today we're going to talk about packing light. So we all want to take flight, right? We all want to go to the next level, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to go to the next level, baby? Come on, act like you want to go to the next level.
On my motorcycle.
No, we talking about flying on a plane.
Oh. That's flying on a motorcycle.
Well, on the motorcycle, you got to pack even lighter.
That's what I like.
Got to pack even lighter. So we get ready to take a trip into our next level, whether it's a flight, you know, or you want to be like Mr. over here and take a bike ride and really pack light, you know. So in those cases, we taking a trip, y'all. We are packing light.
We taking a trip?
Yeah, we taking a trip into our next.
Oh, shucks, we taking a trip. Riding bicycle, motorcycle.
Well, we can do it on a motorcycle. We can tell them about our ride on the motorcycle. And you know what? I have the perfect time we were on a motorcycle and we weren't packing light.
No, we weren't packing light.
So this is going to be an example of what not to do. We were not packing lights, you all.
You remember that?
Oh, I remember it. I remember too an experience that it was a long time before we got on that bike again to go somewhere after this experience. So y'all, let me tell a little story about a bike ride we've on, and I should say a motorcycle ride. And you know, here in the South, it was warm. It was May, so we were thinking great weather to be on the bike out in the weather, no big deal. So we did not necessarily have the correct biking gear. So even though we had packed, we didn't pack the right biking gear. So that's what we're going to talk about, making sure while we talk about packing, like prioritize what you take with us, taking with you to make sure you're equipped for the trip. Number one, y'all remember that, making sure you're taking with you so you're equipped for the trip. And then secondly, we had all this stuff we had to bring back with us. Oh, I forgot to tell y'all, we initially went down there in the truck with a trailer with the bike on. So we were supposed to come back in our truck, but we were like, man, we didn't even get to ride the bike while we were down here. So what we gonna do, some smart people, we gonna ride the bike all the way back home. And don't forget, that means we got to come back on the bike because we already got a truck left where we were further South Georgia. So this is a good 4-hour ride, maybe 5 in the truck. So we got to going on this bike. Remember, we had to pack all this stuff back with us that we had to take back because we took all this work gear. So we didn't take a backpack with us either. So we went up and bought a backpack that actually rolls. And we took 3 computers with us. So we had a backpack that rolled. We had 3 computers with us, and plus some basic items that we needed to take back so we could make it, because we were going to go back to get our truck in about 2 to 3 weeks. So we needed the things that were in the truck that we had packed for that 2 to 3 week trip. Y'all getting me now? Packing. We overpacked, but we didn't have the right things with us. Okay. So the journey became even more interesting. What happened next, baby?
Going up or coming down?
Going home.
Oh boy. Yeah, we were doing real good though. We were doing real good.
We were making time.
We were making good time. It started raining.
Raining, yes.
Yeah,
not just raining. It was dumping water.
Yeah. And we was just, Drizzle was riding real good. We were riding real good until we had to put some gas in the pipe.
No, baby. Remember, we had to stop to cover the computers. We had to get a plastic bag, and we had to stop at the gas station to protect. Because remember, we had those 3 computers in there, and it was raining so hard.
We had a waterproof bag.
No, that wasn't a waterproof bag that time.
Yep. Yeah, when we stopped at that gas station, that was a little gas station.
Yeah, it was a little gas station in the middle of nowhere.
You were nice to us, give us some bags.
Yeah.
But we used to mess around and stood around too long. We stood around too long, and that was it. That was it. So we got back on the bike, brought the computers back up and got back on the bike. And when we got to Macon, you know what my wife told me? You just drop me off at the hotel and come back and pick me up. I'm not riding another further. Now, what kind of thing for a wife to tell her husband that? So you know what I had to do? They had to stop, get a hotel room. All 3 of us had a hotel room. Not 2 of us, all 3 of us.
We talking about the bike.
Oh, the bike, yeah.
Bike was our company in the room. You know, sometimes about his story, he leave out the good stuff. What he forgot to tell you is the temperature dropped.
Oh, shucks.
The temperature dropped. It was in May in the South, and the temperature had dropped. It was freezing cold because we were soaking wet all the way to our flesh. We was dripping and sticking with water. And yes, we had to stop at that first place. We had to get our computers covered. We had to protect those things. But like he said, we stood around too long. And the longer we stood around, the colder we got, and the more miserable it got, and the more conversation happened. So the problem was, we should have got gas at the gas station. We wrapped those bags, those computer bags in, so we could have made it all the way home. But nope. No. We didn't do that. We kept it going and kept being miserable just a little while longer, carrying the heavy backpack and carrying.
She was carrying the heavy.
Yeah, I was carrying the heavy backpack.
I was carrying the heavy bike.
Carrying the heavy backpack, soaking wet, and then the temperature dropped, and it was just miserable. So when we stopped, like my husband said, I wanted to go not another further. I didn't even care. I'd already, as soon as that bike had pulled into the gas station, I jumped off, got on my phone, and found the closest hotel, and I was willing to walk there, because I was not getting ready to ride that bike another 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour. We were probably an hour and a half from our house, but I had refused to get back on that bike. I was freezing cold that night. So we tell this story so you can understand when we're talking about packing light. Packing light. What are we prioritizing, what we're taking with us? Or is it keeping us from really moving on? Is it keeping us from moving on because we've packed the wrong things and it's weighing us down? And see, that night, I can tell you, we packed the wrong stuff. So I told you I was going to come back to this prioritizing what we pack. You know, this man here don't know nothing about no packing now. I do.
What's on me? That's what I'm packing.
I see, that's what I'm saying. He can only worry about what's on him. He don't worry about what's for the next day, the next moment, the next event. Because that's why I do the packing. He was right about that. I do the packing. So let's talk about this packing thing that we did. Prioritizing and making sure you have what's right for the journey.
Sometimes overpacking. All the time overpacking.
Well, the problem is we underpacked because we did not have rain gear.
2 bottles of lipsticks.
And we did not have the other things that we needed for the trip. So in that concept, you can also pack and underpack because you've packed the wrong things. So as you're listening to this, think about it. Sometimes you put the wrong things in there because you feel like you need them in the future because you've had to use them in the past, but you did not plan for what was coming a few miles up the road. We didn't plan for the temperature to drop. We didn't plan for the rain. And the thing is, if y'all don't know, when you get on the bike, you need to look at the weather report. And that was what we did not do. We was just...
You're pretty good at this.
I think we did, actually. I think we said the rain is going to come, and we said we'll make it to the house before the rain get to us. And the thing is, the rain was coming toward us, not behind us. So that means we were riding into the rain. And so that has happened in many of our lives when we talk about the rains, the storms, the things that change instantly in our lives. That's the rain. If y'all can envision that, you know, you're having a sunny day and everything is just going right. Everything's going good for you. And then the rain comes. Whether it's coming up behind you, whether you see it coming towards you, there was a difference in incidents. There is places that happen.
We have to, and we have to learn to adapt.
Yeah, and that's what we did that night.
Learn to adapt, you know. And that's the most important, right? Learn to adapt. Always be prepared at all times. And that was a fun night.
Yeah, and so that's why I say we got to prioritize what we packing. So we looked at the weather report, and the thing is, we thought we could beat the rain. And that's a lot of us. We feel like we can beat time, we can cheat time. That rain is not gonna get to us. We gonna make it home before the rain. And so that's why I said, pack the things that you need to prioritize your journey. And then what was that you just said, babe? What was that you said? We gotta adapt. We gotta adapt. Yeah, we did adapt on the ride. Sometimes you gotta pull over and get some extra plastic bags, get some extra covering. You know, take a moment, take a risk. Or you have to do like us and say, okay, this part of the ride, we're going to have to take a rest.
Yeah.
We're going to have to reevaluate all this stuff that we carry. And it was a very uncomfortable ride. Y'all got to realize we were on a, what's the name of that bike? Maybe tell us what we had. A Hayabusa. Yeah. I don't know how I always forget that because I know that's your love, them Hayabusas. That's the only kind of bike you'll ever ride. A Hayabusa. So anybody that knows something about bikes, you got to lay on it. A Hayabusa. That's not a bike you sit up straight on. Oh, I love it too because I get to go to sleep. Yes, I did say sleep.
Yeah, she did say sleep.
But so this night I was laid down on the bike in a nice, relaxed position. But remember, I told you this was a rolling bag. So that means it had tires in it, and they were pressing in my back with all of these heavy computers on my back. So that's why I say packing light means, first of all, having the right luggage for the right situation. You can't take the same luggage for every type of transportation. So we were on a bike. We should have had a backpack like we did, but we just had the wrong type of backpack because we wanted a big bag because we knew we were carrying too much, but we had the wrong type of bag. So ladies and gentlemen listening, what type of trip are you going on? How long are you going? Get the right bag. Get the right bag so you can pack appropriately for the trip. So what you saying? Because I see you over there thinking.
I just think it's like we always talk about. It's a must that we take time and plan stuff out.
Ooh.
It's a must. Yeah, it's a must. But sometimes we going on vacation or just going on a joyride. We get so excited about going on vacation. We get so excited about going on a joyride that we forget to
thoroughly planning through.
And we said, baby, forgot this and baby, forgot that. And it was like you said, you had that backpack on that was very uncomfortable for you, which I didn't know it at the time, but that was very uncomfortable. So you took our time and planned stuff out. That would never happen. And that's the way with life, you know. You have to take time and plan. No matter what situation that we are in, you have to take time and plan it out because, like we always talk about all the time, there's always a way out, always a solution to every challenge that we run in life. So we have to be willing to be disciplined and slow ourselves down and just think about it and plan the way out. You find out it come a lot better because and majorities in life we is in a rush mode all the time. That's one of why we miss out a lot of stuff.
Got to slow it down.
And you have to do that. So that's very serious, like, you know, and that's the way it is with what we doing. You know, it had to be planned out and had to be, just like a map. You have to plan everything out. And that's our thing is, my wife and myself is what we doing is having folks plan their life out, plan their strategy out, anyway in life they want to go. Because it's a sad case that a majority just walk around in this world, don't have no kind of plan whatsoever. Excuse me, don't have no kind of plans whatsoever. And we just moving around. We don't have nothing.
Yeah. So while we making moves, we need to have plan steps. I like that. Plan steps. So let's go back and see what we said about this packing light. in order to know that you have not overpacked, first of all, you need to look at the forecast ahead. You need to figure out what's coming behind you and what's coming ahead of you. And what that means is really, so I'm gonna help y'all in this place. So, because you remember, this is the inspirational station. So to be inspired, to get the correct instructions, to get from what's ahead and what's behind, the forecast we need to listen to is God's forecast. You know, we looked at the weather report and we saw one thing, but there was another report that said it was coming toward us, not behind us. And so those are the things, like in life, financial hardships, you lose loved ones, your health changes. Are you listening to the forecast that God is giving you to deal with those things? Because he will help you change, impact life. And what I say that, so once you got the forecast in place, then you decide what type of luggage you need to have with us. Because if y'all heard when we were having this conversation, he said, oh, I thought you had a waterproof bag. Not this trip. We learned from this bike trip. Yeah, we learned from this bike trip. Now, when we bike, we make sure we always have a waterproof backpack as well, and no wheels on the back on the bike. So it is making sure you're taking the right bag on the right transportation. Because when you flying or you on a train, you're in a covered area. So your bag is a little bit different, and the bag size is different, and you want wheels because you want to drag it and you want to take extra bags. But you don't want wheels when you're on the bike, press it in your back. So the type of luggage. So we've talked about, you know, making a plan. Making a plan means looking ahead at the forecast. Making a plan means getting the right type of luggage with you. And then you will also, baby, what you said is still being able to adjust on the journey. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much planning you do. Because at the end of the day, it really is God's plan that will prevail in your life. So the thing is, are you able to adjust on the trip and still enjoy the trip? Still enjoy the journey.
I imagine you got some people on here listening to us, watching us, and digest what we said. And say, why are they riding a Hayabusa and putting stuff all on this lady's back, and instead of getting one of them Holidays, gold wing? I got a wrist problem.
Ooh, Jesus.
Because the Holidays and gold wing won't last me long. Last me about 2 weeks. I got a wrist problem, so I don't see myself riding the Holidays and gold wing or whatever y'all want to call it. So until this wrist get under control, that is not my type of bike.
Yeah, and that's why I say every transportation is different for each of us. What's required for our journey. We on a Hayabusa journey. I mean, we catch a little speed, we lay down on it, we can relax, we let the wind blow through our hair. Maybe that's not your journey, but right now that's how we live in it. That's how we are out here fully living in it, allowing ourselves to catch the breeze, you know, to catch a fresh new God's word. And sometimes it requires you to go a little bit faster. So
I don't like traffic jams.
So, you know, we like to do a little weaving and a bobbing and moving around. So, but that's our journey, you know. So the thing is, understand what your journey is. And the difference is transportation can be changed based on where you are on the journey. Sometimes we got to catch flights. We can't always go on the bike, and it's okay. Sometimes we got to go on the train, and that's all right. And sometimes we got to go road tripping in the car. But the thing is, we just love bike tripping because we know we like the speed, we like the energy, we love the wind. It's just that pace that makes us excited when we're going on a journey to next. So if you've never experienced, it's a great experience, but all of us have different experiences, different backgrounds, but the common thing in all of them is plan it out. Plan it out wherever and however you are doing it.
And then that's very important, planning out. But here's the most important part, because I put out a post this morning. We find ourselves in a lot of stressful situations because we see somebody that's planning something out and how it's planning out, work it out for them, how they live in their life, you know, because it's working out good. You got to realize everybody got different names, everybody got different birthday, everybody got different social security. All right, so whatever working for them guys, it may not work for you. So you just get your own map and you plan your own situation out in life and you stick with it. You know, it may be boring to you, but you stick with it and it'll get a lot better. But don't be a copycat. Because you run into a lot of problems being a copycat. Because you get yourself in a jam, man, by being a copycat, you don't know how to get out. You be frustrated. So just stick with you. Do you. Be you. That's the best person to do. Be you.
Yeah, we're gonna get deeper into that map making. So we would, because I think that will give us a great making moves, you know. So y'all make sure y'all put a pin in that so we can get back to the mapping and the GPS and then the routes.
Big pin, look at it.
Well, we're gonna take a push pin.
Push pin.
A push pin and just put it right there.
Stick pin.
No, we don't want to stick people. We just want to remember to come back to that one, because that I know is a great message, but I want to make sure on this light packing while we're on the trip, we don't want to burden ourselves down. We don't want to slow ourselves down. We don't want to hold ourselves back. And, you know, it is a lot of things that we carry. So I want to, when we talk about packing, it is not just the physical stuff, but yeah,
it's not.
But it's a lot of physical stuff that we hold on to. There is, you know, a lot of us, we are borderline hoarders. You know, we got magazines from 30 years ago. We got boxes of stuff packed up that we've never used. A lot of us are borderline hoarders. We got clothes in our closet that we can't wear because we done grew out of them 20 years ago, or shoes. But the thing is, packing light in all the things for our journey. If God told you to move right now, how long would it take you to pack up everything? Or do you need to take it all with you is the key for this particular journey. So see what's in your heart and what you're carrying with you. See what's in your mind and you're carrying with you. See what's in your emotions and what you're carrying with you. Because at the end of the day, the only thing that is the common denominator on every journey is you. So what are you packing in you? You are the luggage today that we're talking about. Are you waterproof? When God rains on you, you know, do you melt? Do you crumble? Do you dissipate? And, you know, I got this going joke. You know, my husband always say, are you going to melt when we go out in the rain? And I said, baby, I'm brown sugar. Brown sugar don't do nothing but turn the syrup and get a little bit better. But the thing is, God don't want us to melt. God needs us to stay in a place that he can use us. And he can use some brown sugar now. He can definitely use some syrup. But my thing is, I want to make sure you stay in a usable state so that God can continue to use you on the journey. So don't allow the things to cause you to dissipate and break and go away. Allow them to make you stronger. Yeah, baby.
Like we said, no lot of things make you dissipate and break. And that's that. And what I want to say with this, in the law, we want to get married with love, and the Lord don't send blessings our way or answer our prayers. And what you say is something to you know, it's like when you go to the grocery store and you look around in these buggies, they got buckets full of stuff, and you wonder why. And you got to look in the buggy and see how outdated the stuff is. And the same thing with our life. You know, the Lord don't have no room in our life to get blessed when you have outdated stuff.
Oh yeah.
You know,
all them clothes and shoes and all that stuff we holding on to.
Yeah. And so otherwise your situation that you are in and may be outdated. And when you open the door, nothing else can't come in because you got to move that stuff out the way. You got to go and put it in file 13. And that's very important because sometimes we live our life on the past. And the past is gone. It's outdated. It's mildew. You know, it's
mold and mildew.
Yeah, so you have to realize what happened to our blessing, why we receive our blessing, why we're not able to conquer nothing new, because we, like my wife said, we hoarders, or what you call that word?
Hoarders.
We're hotos. We're outdated stuff. So we need to realize that too. So don't get mad with the Almighty Father that he don't answer your prayers. You have to go in your house and open your doors up and look around and see what you got in and outdated. You need to move it.
So on this journey, while we're packing light, we're removing the hoarder mentality. We are removing the mentality that we're not going to have enough, so that we are living in fear and we get too much of something. You know, a lot of us do that because however we were brought up, we afraid we're not going to have enough food. We afraid, you know, not going to have enough toilet paper, paper towels, all those things that we have felt lack in our life. You know, whether it was food, whether it was finances, whether it was love, whatever you hoarding because you feel like there was lack at some point in your life, you don't have to do that anymore. You don't, because God will always give you plenty. I'm not saying don't prepare. Not saying that. I'm not saying don't have extra. I'm just saying don't be a hoarder to the point that you've got so much there's not enough for other people. Don't do that. That's what I'm saying. Don't go empty the shelves and you don't even have room to put that stuff up, become junkie, be a hoarder. And that's what a lot of us walking around in junkie lives. We full of the word, but we're not applying it or using it in our lives. So let's make sure we're not walking around heavy. So on this packing life journey, we have to watch out for those things that we are talking about. So making sure that whatever has come your way, whatever rain, whatever storm, whatever temperature drop in your situation, while you out there enjoying the ride called life, do not allow that to stop you from riding again. Because now let me tell you the rest of that story. So yes, we did pull over. Yes, we did get a hotel room. Yes, we let our clothes dry out.
I think y'all gonna love this.
But realize when we woke up the next morning, it was still freezing.
Oh, no, we're talking about before the morning got him. How tired we was and frustrated we was and how soaking wet we was.
Oh,
how far you walk to get something to eat?
Yeah, we had to walk a couple of blocks still to go get something to eat in the cold and rain.
You was tired and frustrated.
Oh, let me tell you, food gonna come now. Let me tell you how I'm gonna eat my food. No matter how tired I had frustrated. You know, he just had to tell on my eating. But the thing of the story, what I want us to understand, yes, you get to rest. Yes, you even get to eat. You get to rest, you get to eat. But the thing is, when the next day comes, you don't get to wallow and say, well, yesterday wasn't so good. The rain came, the cold came, the discomfort came. But you got someplace to be today. Y'all hear me? You got someplace to be today, some things to do. And we did. We had to get home because we had to get our daughter to school. So we set that alarm. We stepped out. Even though our clothes were dry now, it was frigid cold this morning. When I tell you the temperature had dropped, you know, down in the South, I don't ever consider nothing cold, but this had dropped down south cold for me. So when it dropped down south cold, we said, well, we still got to go home. And that's what we did. We rolled out the cold and the frigidness of it because, yes, it was. Yeah, y'all don't even understand how bad it was because I was told my husband, go home, ride the bike, come back and get me in the truck, turn the heat on, and I'll be right. But that sounds nice in the journey that we send the people ahead to come back and get us in our comfortable place. The entire journey is not going to be comfortable. And realize after the rain and the cold comes, you still have to move again in that state. And that's what I want you to understand. The movement is required because once we got on the bike, all we had to do is focus on getting home. Focus on getting home. So focus on whatever destination that God is giving you, your next. Focus on whether it's taking care of your kids that you still have. Focus on whether it's developing yourself to the next level. But whatever your next is, make sure that you're focused on that so you don't focus on the discomfort of that particular situation.
Yeah,
so
hold on tight to it.
Yeah, hold on tight because it required a real mindset to get me back on that bike in the frigid cold that morning to understand what I had to do in order to get home. So we got to close it out. As always, 30 minutes slip real fast by on these Wednesday mornings. But the thing is, you all can stay connected with us.
Yeah, been only about 5 minutes.
I know, 29 now. We ain't got but a few seconds left. We ain't got them. But if you want to keep meeting with us and keep hearing these conversations, just jump over to the Relationship Service Station page and visit the Grief Garage, and you can find out where we are so you can meet us out on the road in a city near you.
Yes, and here's my closing thought. I'm going to get a cup of coffee.
Yes, babe. Got your coffee ready.
Coffee.
Yes, I got your coffee.
Creamy coffee. Creamy coffee. My coffee is creamy when I get it.
Making moves beyond loss. I'm Cortne Lee Smith. I'm Fulton Smith. Making
on